The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent show, The Power Trading Hour, where we come to you at the appointed and sacred time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So, apparently, whatever the Fed said, the market does not like, but I figured that was coming up. No big surprise. I said that yesterday. I think I said it the day before and the day before that. Well, at least the futures are at 4,009 on the S&P cash. Let's go ahead and update the other ones here and take a quick look. Okay, so we've dropped 40 points from when they came out for the announcement on the S&P cash. Let's take a quick look at the volume, because it's really going to be interesting to see what this looks like before the end of the day. So we've got 6.5 billion shares right now. So we'll look at that again before the end of the show and see what's going on. Not much other than options expiration on Friday between now and then to drive it. I think we may have some more numbers, but I think it's going to be more about expiration now than anything else. And, of course, could we get a reversal of the reversal of the reversal? I think we could. Have no idea. But, again, one of the reasons why I don't tend to stick my neck out too far during these things is really just one word or a couple of words that when he comes out at 2:30 could change everything or make it even worse. And I'm very good at telling or understanding what a lot of people are going to do. I'm very poor at understanding what a single individual will do and how it'll affect it. I know by Friday it probably won't matter, but today it's enough to take you out on either way. 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always put a message in the den. Yes, the triple reversal double Lindy hat could come out today, but we'll keep a close eye on this. But yeah, okay. Okay. First question of the day, we'll take a look at here, is did Tesla make a low? And I have a feeling that email came before the Fed announcement. So let's take a look here. Well, you're down. You got a lot of volume yesterday. So I think, no, I don't think this is any different. I think yesterday I said something like probably 148-ish. And again, the whole market probably going south, in my opinion. As we said in the newsletter this morning, the option market makers haven't blinked at all. They've continued to look at that mid 380 level, maybe a little higher than that, maybe in the 387, 388 area for expiration. So I'm not real surprised that we went lower off the comments, but we'll see whether they can hold this up a little bit more. Anyway, don't see anything in Tesla now. Probably the only interesting thing on Tesla was I saw that they had some kind of Steam game app now in the car. So you can, I guess, hopefully, so your kids can play. I hope someone's still at the wheel. The other thing I saw that was interesting is Twitter's moving its offices to Texas. And while that's probably not a big deal since they're not a public company at the moment, the 500 largest companies in the world, 268 of them now are headquartered in Texas. And that may tell you something. That is up from 192 years ago. So we've had 78 top market capped companies moved to Texas in the last 2 years. I know some of them moved to other places like Nevada and Florida, but Texas looks like it's raking in it. Okay, what else do we have out here? Let's take a quick look at Apple. I saw how hard they were pressing Microsoft before it, so I want to take a quick look at that. You had a reversal candle yesterday, getting a little bit more of that today. We'll look at the volume. Support is about 139-ish on Apple. So look for that in the next couple of days. Take a quick look at Microsoft. As I said, they pushed this thing hard. Now you got a tombstone doji at the moment. Of course, the day isn't over. And we do pay homage to, what was his name? Curly from City Slickers. When he gets asked if he killed anybody today, he said, day ain't over. And we should remember that. Anyway, there's certainly a little tombstone doji out here. Support's a little bit better on Microsoft around 255. Question about UVXY. UVXY. And see. Well, you got something that kind of looks like a little low. The big problem I have here is that everybody knows that next week is going to be up by about 0.5%. Now, we may have carnage, dogs sleeping with cats, real wrath of God stuff between now and Friday. Next Monday, they're going to just slowly turn the temperature up. And that's 8.5 times out of 10 times, you're going to get a move up, even if it's only 0.25%. After the carnage that I think we get this week, you're going to get a slow move up. Generally, in down markets, the week after Christmas tends to be a lot of people trying to get out of Dodge before everything goes south. So if we continue to have a weak market, just figure that we're probably going to have a couple of really bad days on Thursday and Friday, and then we get into next week where it'll probably just slightly go up into Christmas, and then you get the thump on the head generally after Christmas or on the first couple of days of the new year. Okay, and let's see what else we have here. Okay. Let's go back and look here what we have. Okay, we got a little bit of a bounce. Still down 11 points on the day, but that's after being up 50 or so. Let me do a couple of things here like that. Okay, what else do we have out here? Oh, we're going to go to break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll do a little history. Get prepared. We'll gird our loins for Chairman Powell at 2:30.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors. Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
On this day in 1902, the cable ship Silvertown begins laying the first trans-Pacific telegraph cable from San Francisco destined for Honolulu, Hawaii. After laying 2,227 nautical miles of cable, the Silvertown will land in Honolulu on January 1st, 1903. Public messages will begin transmitting on January 5th. And, of course, one more big technical thing about connecting the world. We kind of take for granted that we're really less than 150 years into all telecommunications and making the world much smaller. Okay, I've got a couple of questions going on. First one was one that I kind of accidentally deleted. I forget who sent it to me. But the question was, how do you calculate a 3x3 displaced moving average? Where is that at now? Oh, there it is. Okay. Why can't... rats. Double rats. Come on, you should be in that list. Or is it still not in there? Come on. There it is. Why is it in that list, not in that list? Okay. Question about the 3x3 displaced moving average to whoever sent it to me, who I accidentally deleted. You take 3 days. You take the average of that 3 days, and you put it 1 day in front of that. You take the next 3 days, and you put it in front of that day. And that's pretty much it. So that when you get up to the end of it, you get these 3 days, right? And you just keep rolling them up in front. But it does give you a kind of a line out into the future, which is one of the reasons I like it. Take 3 days, put that 4 days in front of the first one, and that's pretty much all you need to do. 877-927-6648. Email me again if you didn't get that. But I can't remember who it was or why my email program just threw up right when that happened. Let's take a look at the futures just very quickly here. Well, looks like we're kind of fooling around thinking about finding the lows yet again today. We don't have much of a bounce. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we got some other questions. One was on the UVXY. Let's see. What would be your target on UVXY? I really don't have one right now. It is incredibly hard at these levels to beat the decay in this. So I'm not a big fan of playing this at the moment. As I said, come Monday, you're probably going to have a little bullish bias in the market. So a lot of people that get into this are going to have a really hard time. Maybe you made a low here, but even if we go lower, my guess is that you only have maybe a day. Then you get into Friday, and they start sucking the premiums out of the VIX by 10:30 on Friday for the weekend. Then you get into next week. It is just going to be very tough making a lot of money on that trade, I believe. A lot of people are going to use the data that they've seen year after year, and they're not going to want to pay up for it. The play, I suspect, is going to be in puts for Friday, but we'll see how well we do today. Not on this either. I'm thinking puts on a lot of the big tech companies, a lot of them that got driven up here over the last few days, really just a short squeeze into what I think is a longer-term downtrend. Okay, another question is on gold. What's going on here? My thought, let's go ahead and do this. Let's redraw that. My thoughts are this on GLD, and that is, and gold in general, is that we are in a seventh wave from a Proctor Elliott wave kind of thing. And I don't use that stuff very much, but I like the description of the seventh wave. And that is that you'll have a long-term move in something, and you get several waves, you get several pullbacks, but on a longer-term basis is kind of, I've been waiting for it for a couple of years, and that is the last wave of an Elliott wave move higher, which I think probably is the best description. And that description would tell you this. That is, we're going to go up on lighter volume, probably for years. It's never going to do a whole lot of stuff like go up $100 a day. If it does, then it's probably not a seventh wave. But in the seventh wave, it just bores you going up slowly. And my guess is that that's probably the characteristic of gold for the next couple of years if this is truly going to be a bull market in gold. We just got up to the previous high. We pulled kind of back into it. It's staying above it. But generally, that last move is generally pretty good. It's not beyond the scope or reason to think gold goes to 2,500. But the other side of the coin is it's going to absolutely, if you're thinking you're going to get $50 and $100 days, that if it's truly a seventh wave, you don't. You get 10, you get 15, you get 20, then it pulls back 10, and it pulls back 5, then it goes up 15, and it goes up 20. And on a percentage basis, it doesn't seem like much. But if you're going to make money in gold, it's not going to be trading around it. It's going to be sitting on your hands, and it's going to be there are going to be 20 times between now and the top where you would want to sell it. And unless you probably go up on top of a mountain and just ignore everything, it doesn't matter. 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. Okay. That was from yesterday. Thanks for the good stuff. Okay. talk about fusion energy. Yeah, they're just talking about a total. Fusion energy is anything that doesn't involve carbon. I worship carbon. The atomic number 6 is something I pray to. I heard Tom say that he thought it was 50 years away. I don't think it's that far away. You got, I think someone in the den said there were 56 companies working on fusion power. Bloomberg this morning said it's a $40 trillion business to start producing energy through fission. Through fusion. I've confused myself there. So there's a lot of people wanting to get to it. But I think working version's 5 years away, commercialization 10. We'll be back in a minute.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Okay, so we got the Fed getting ready to come out in a minute. And, of course, we've girded our loins for his speech. Normally, you look for the question and answer period to run about 45 minutes. So somewhere around 3:15, don't expect a lot of movement unless he decides to drop the chalupa on this. But, I don't see a whole lot going on other than that. So we can look at some charts. As I said, we could have some decent down side for the next few days. And options are pointing that way and have. So I haven't been much on the way of the upside. I was thinking about being short right at least in the newsletter, at the announcement today. There's still a lot lower, I think, over the next 2 days, so we'll see. But that's it. Anyway, got a bunch of questions today. Yeah, I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Okay. Let's see. There was something else out here. Okay. You thought Oracle was a little lower on earnings. I mean, you had the wide bar. You're kind of right around the same place. I'm not going to say that I was too far off. You got the, it just admit yesterday was a way of trying to get every short seller to buy something or buy and get out of their short position so the big men of the street could go short. I'm thinking that's the real story right today. You got a big move out of it, but it was never really there if it isn't there by the end of the day. It's just a game people play. Okay, take a look at IBB. Do I think it still could be weaker? I think these guys have a lot of problems, probably legal problems. A lot of the lawsuits are going to be coming up here in January and February. And I'm not a fan of the free lunch folks. And that is any drug, any vaccine, or anything is 100% perfect. And yeah, kind of like Apple going a little overboard on saying that their product was kind of hacker-proof and couldn't be used for stalkers. Well, it could, and everybody knew it could. There is no perfect drug out there. If you're unfamiliar with it, there's a thing called the free lunch theorem, and that theorem says there is no free lunch. Some are going to have more or less problems, and while you can't be sued for the actual use of the drug, you can kind of be sued if you make claims about the drug that aren't true. And I think that's why a handful of these folks are going to be in trouble over the next year. And that's just going to be, they could have said nothing, but they chose to say something. And that something probably just historically would be very, very unusual. So, yeah, I'm not thinking that anything goes there. Okay, let's take a look at that while I keep it right out. So we're back down to the lows. We just broke them on the S&Ps. So we shall see. Again, support somewhere around that 385, maybe 390 area. I'll run them before the end of the day. But, I don't think there's a lot of reasons to think that we don't go down there. 877-927-6648. Again, a lot of stuff going on. I'm kind of a single track kind of guy. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. 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 Question about my call on the SMHs yesterday. Let's take a look here. Yeah. Kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Yeah, you should probably see support somewhere around 198-ish. That's it may take a while to get there, maybe after the first of the year. But that does kind of look like it's topped out a bit. Take a look at some of the other ones out here. Take a quick look at the XLE. It's down a little. Again, you're probably going to have 2 or 3 months as all that Russian oil hits. I think you're going to have a problem after that. Most of those ships, I don't think, are going to make it more than a few times across the ocean. So you're going to be tanker limited fairly soon. If it's not 3 months, it's probably 6 months. And then you're probably going to really start seeing crude prices hover back up. You did have a clear and unambiguous sign of a top. That was that you busted the June 8th high that had $91.28 with 28.5 million shares. Break through it on 23 million shares and then close back below it. So, yeah, I think this is going to be kind of a consolidation somewhere between 3 and 6 months. I don't know if it pulls back a great deal. But again, there'll be the tail end of that cheap Russian oil, and that will probably be the next big run for oil. Okay. Keep emailing me at path@tfnn.com. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You talked about MUX last week. Let's take a look at it. It's just going sideways. I don't see much in it. I dislike any company that has reverse splits. And so this one's kind of on my no-fly zone. I'm sure Tom talks a lot about other stocks. I think there are probably better ones out there than this one. Okay, let's take a quick look at the TLT and see how it reacted to the Fed dropping the chalupa here today. As I said, I was kind of surprised it went up this high, but I think there are always going to be a bunch of suckers thinking that that they're going to be able to browbeat the Fed into lowering rates sooner rather than later. I don't think so. I think today is a good example of what we're seeing already, and that is that he is not going to be bashful about telling everybody that we're going to have rates maybe not as high as we thought maybe a couple months ago, but they're probably going to go out for a year or two, and there's not going to be a big change between now and then. Okay. Okay. PLTR. I did say I liked this the other day. I did say I loved this low volume low, but at the same time, you want to be thinking about companies like this more at the first of the year than the last. There's going to be a lot of people that still are on the wrong side of this, and as an individual, you can sell into the last trading day of the year. So I'm saying that generally the best play on these, even if they look great right now, is to wait to the first of the year. We'll be back in a minute.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
And as we get back, we'll go through all the usual suspects. I've been watching Disney just because they've got several products or films or movies, depending on what you want to call it, and where they're coming out. We talked, I don't know, a week or two ago about some of the long-term stuff that they have, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones movies. They've now released a fourth possible ending in a screen test, and people apparently still hate the movie, and that could be another thing like, well, just the disasters they've had where they were forecasting $1 billion for Buzz Lightyear and ended up with $350 million. A lot of, in the scheme of things, it sounds good, but they put $400 million into it, including advertising, so it's a net loss already for them this year. But anyway, between that and Willow on their streaming service, they're just having a bunch of bombs. So I don't see a whole lot out there. I would think that you would want to wait for it to come back into this low about 87 to see whether anything's going on with that. Let's take a quick look at NFL. X to see about it. It's actually the better of the bunch, but it's right up against something about fairly decent resistance. This last leg up was on too light a volume for me. You did get about halfway into that gap today. If you were going to short it, that would probably be that would have probably been the opportunity today. But I think that's the better of the ones out there at the moment. Paramount is probably kind of interesting. See a look at that. Anyway, those are two. Let's take a quick look at Amazon, see if there's any action in this. Just looks like it's also headed back down to test its low. You got the November 9th low at 85.87. It may come in there lightly. I hear sales are down for Christmas stuff. It's a combination of people spending less money and some things not being available, mostly because of the shutdown in China, or shutdowns in China, AE plural. Okay, let's take a quick look at AMD. They just had new products out. Weren't all that bad, but yeah, this is just hanging around. If you wanted to buy this, you'd probably want to retest to 64. Go ahead and NVDA. I think this one is more resilient against a recession than others. It's still actually in an up channel, but my guess is it would pull back a bit, but I don't know how far. It's actually the best of those two. Okay. We looked at Microsoft. Let's look at Apple again. See now that we've kind of come down a little bit if there's anything more out here sticking out. 139 probably by Friday. MSFT. Okay. It just went up there and hit resistance. Still probably the best of the bunch. To take a quick look at Meta. Is the worst in? I don't know. They're going to have a lot of problems next year. What else do we have out here? Take a quick look at Google. Interestingly enough, I was watching some videos this morning on YouTube, and literally every 2 minutes there was an ad. I mean, these guys, when they've done that in the past, it's always been because they're getting ready to miss, and they try to get a lot of cash in. Not exactly sure if you can bank on that every time, but every time I've seen 5 ads in a 10-minute video, it's been when these guys are in trouble. And, this isn't the only part of their business, but it has been an indicator in the past that these guys are getting desperate. 877-927-6648. Okay. Take a quick look. Okay, we're off 35 after being up 50 some odd on the S&P cash. Okay, Okay, see if there's anything else on the list of stuff that I wanted to look at. Okay, got a question to look at CRISPR, the RSP. Well, you're close. Again, I suspect if this is going to be a buy and you're going to get a low, it's going to be around the first of the year. If you're already down significantly over the year, it is very tough in the next couple of weeks to start people plowing in. Sometimes you get the people plowing in the last couple of days of the year. My guess is if this is going to do well, then you're probably going to want to watch everybody wash out on the last day of the year, which is about the same on the rest. A little bit more on DLR, DLR, he said. Okay. Yeah, you're breaking that. I did see that Chanos is still short this. I didn't see how much. But, yeah, I think if you were thinking about long on this or if you're short, you're probably thinking that you're going to get another stab at 98-ish on this, especially with the interest rate not coming down anytime soon. Okay. Okay, look at a few others here. Let me go back and check emails. I got a bunch here. Let's get into it. Where are they at? Okay. Okay. So we'll look at those. Okay. Okay. Charter Communications, CHTR. So we'll give it the loser horn of the day. That is quite a gap. And we'll take a look here. Man, yeah. You blew through the previous low. You blew through it with volume. The next support level is at 297.66. Let's take a look at the SMHs. Again, for Gary, who wants to know whether or not we've got the 3-gap play going on here. Well, you filled it today. But, yeah, if this thing breaks down through the 3x3, you really want to look at the previous 2 gaps. So that'd take you down to about 187 on that. We'll be back in just a minute. Looks like we're off still about 30 points on the S&P after being, down 36 now on the S&P. My guess is we're going to be in the mid 3800s for Friday. We'll be back in a minute.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Sign up for Basil's live webinar, airing this Thursday, December 15th. Basil Chapman will be hosting his first ever live trading webinar, just in time for the holiday season. While Basil will focus on the S&P E-mini futures, other symbols from gold, crude oil to natural gas and more will be traded as appropriate. Basil will demonstrate specific Chapman wave techniques, as well as answer questions live. Spots are limited, and Basil goes live Thursday, December 15th. You don't want to miss it. To sign up, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And what do we have going on here? Well, we'll take a look at the rest. I don't think this is going to buff out before the end of the day. I don't see anything that really changes a whole lot. Probably the best comment in the den here was the PEs. Normally you want to sell at 19 and buy at 11 or 12 in a bigger cycle, and we're still at a PE at about 19 on the average for the S&P. So even though a lot of stocks have come down, we still have fairly high price multiples, and that probably a good indication that we haven't gotten back down to anything short of, even 15 or 14 suggests that there still could be a lot of pain next year. So we'll take a look at that. What else do we have? Oh, we want to look at volume before the end of the day. We got about 8.3 billion shares, so it picked up some, probably not enough. Like I said, I think a lot of people probably think about selling maybe at the beginning of the year in some stocks, and a lot of the stocks that are down now that people are thinking about and think that will go higher between now and the end of the year, probably not. If you're thinking that I'm wrong and you want to go long, I think you still need to wait for the last couple of days of the year, especially if they are smaller cap stocks, don't have a lot of cash on hand, and haven't been selling bonds out the wazoo for the last couple of years. You know, if you're Apple, the bigger problem is sales. It's not how much cash you have. If you're Microsoft, same thing. You got plenty of cash. It's how much are your sales. Now, in the smaller companies, it's, are you going to have to issue more shares? Are you going to have to get a loan? Are you going to have to do anything that dilutes the shares in a market that's already headed lower? So just be careful for those mid-cap, small-cap stocks. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We will see you here tomorrow.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible.